Welcome back to Solar Steve. You know, I never know how to start these videos, but today we're going to work on the old plow truck. And this is not the old plow truck, this is the new plow truck, or at least new to me. And so the obvious question is, why are we not working on this? And that is because my garage is incredibly messy, but also the all of the brakes are seized. The calipers are bad, these rubber hoses might be bad. I don't mind the brake fluid, that was me undoing the master cylinder up there, so that's fine. But yeah, there really was no pad left. Couldn't get the caliper to go in. These rotors are just toast, and you know, that's at least $500 worth of parts right there. Not to mention, of course, that so if we can turn this, you know, when I turn this, it's supposed to turn that shaft, and if you watch, I can turn it, and it has quite a lot of play in there. And that is because that U-joint right there is crap. So, we're going to work on the old plow truck because this new plow truck sucks. And here is the old plow truck. As you can see, it's been buried in with a bunch of things. I actually planned on selling this old one this year because I figured I would use the new one. And my procrastination actually paid off for once, because I did not sell it and I actually need it. Anyway, one of the things I realized with this plow truck is that the plow performance, like when you're moving the plow up and down, is really poor. And my guess would be that that is because of really crap cabling. This is actually the positive cable from the battery. See, it comes from here, goes all the way down here. It appears to be split and corroded, and yeah, it's crap. And I also discovered that there is actually no ground wire. This is a control wire, has like 6 wires in there, and you know, this is a ground, but that's not going to carry many amps. Don't mind the random crocodile clip. That's just my redneck way of hooking that up right now. I should really fix this stuff. But anyway, I want to demonstrate exactly what the problem here is, and I can do that by hooking up a battery charger with the negative attached here and the positive attached here, and we can measure the volt drop at 15 amps. So I'm going to hook that stuff up, and then we will see how much of a volt drop we get, and then we can discuss that. Okay, so the way that we have this set up, we have the charger hooked up to the positive on the plow and the negative chassis, because there is no physical ground wire attached. We have the negative of the voltmeter attached onto the negative of the battery, and we're going to measure the volt drop from here all the way through the chassis to here. The battery voltage, according to this, is 12.2. According to the voltmeter is 12.3, so yeah, we're close. A fully charged battery is going to be 12.7, so we're not fully charged at this point. So let's hit the charger and see what kind of volt drop we're going to get. This might be a little challenging with holding a phone, but here we go. Okay, so we're delivering 3.4 amps, and we're losing 2.17-ish volts, which is enormous. You know, bearing in mind that this thing's trying to charge the thing up to kind of a voltage of 14 volts. The reason it's only able to do about 3 amps is because at that point it's lost so much voltage that the difference between the battery and the charge voltage has basically dissipated as heat. And so we can solve this problem by adding a better ground. And you know, just for the sake of measuring it, let's put this into the positive and see what the positive volt drop is, which it isn't going to be as much. So the positive volt drop is only 0.03, and that's because it actually has a wire, which, granted, that wire is probably still insufficient for how many amps we're trying to push through it, but you know, a wire is better than no wire, apparently. So let's switch back and I'll demonstrate what it's like what the volt drop will reduce to when we add in a ground. And so I'm going to try to kind of lodge this in. Okay, so we have it hooked up now where the battery is charging. We are measuring the volt drop from that negative to the battery negative. 2.6 amps, almost 2 volts of volt drop. Now we're going to attach this to the metal chassis right here. And you can see straight away our volt drop has gone way down, and we're suddenly delivering 3 to 4 times as much current. And so that ground is really screwing us over. Now in this case, when we're charging a battery, it's not really that big of a deal. The battery will eventually be charged. But when we're running the plow, if you figure that we can't even pull 3 amps from here without dropping a couple of volts, how is that plow motor supposed to run? And so obviously this is a problem that we have to fix. So what's the plan? We're going to add new terminals to the battery because these things are crap. And these, we're going to connect them to the battery, and then we're actually going to use little ring connectors to connect the wires on there, rather than this where they're just kind of clamped down. And you can see a lot of this wire has corroded, so I'm going to need to cut this back just to find some clean wire in there. Hopefully there is some. Same kind of deal over there. Use negative wires, and obviously we're going to add one more to this whole thing. I'm also going to add these Anderson connectors. So this is going to be on the plow end, and I'll be able to connect and disconnect them right here. I think this might be 4-gauge wire, and you can see it already has the ring terminals on the end. So this should be much nicer than that blue wire in there, and it has a ground as well. Oh, there goes that. Starting with the negative side so that my metal wrench doesn't hit anything. Kind of challenging to do this with one hand, but yeah, there that goes. Sweet. There's so many random wires coming off of this. Like, what does that go to? Ah, look how loose. Look at this. Look how loose that is. Crazy. And even with loosening that up, the actual terminal doesn't want to really pop off. I may need a hammer to get that. There we go. Oh geez. All right, we'll see. Beautiful. Oh, that looks like that needs a little cleanup. Gonna hook the battery charger directly to the battery, and let that charge while I'm working on this. Love the way the train always goes by when I'm trying to mess with this thing. Hey, there we go. Not bad. Hopefully the battery's still good. Given how bad these wires are, I think I'm just going to go ahead and just cut them. Everything's surprisingly hard to do with one hand, but I don't want to lose too much wire, so there we go. Yeah, that looks a lot cleaner in there straight away. All right, I'm going to cut the rest, and then we'll see if we can crimp some ends onto them. All right, I've cut all of the wires. This blue one will never get used again, so we'll just kind of throw that one away. But yeah, we need to put some ends on these, and then put these nice new terminals on. In fact, I think I'm going to put these terminals on now. You can see that this terminal needs cleaning, so this is a wire brush. I think more so for welding. I'm just going to give this terminal a little love. I don't have any, cleaner or anything like that. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Guess I'll give this one a couple of brushes too, but that one kind of looks okay. All right, I'm happy with that. Then we get these cool things. I don't know why, what they're for, or why we need them. And then we get that. Yeah, sorry for the dodgy camera work, but looks kind of nice, right? So these are the little crimps. This is the crimping tool, and there's the wire. Maybe I need to cut that one back a little more, but I think it's fine. I'm going to do one of these and I'll show you how it works, but obviously you have different sizes right here, and we have different size cables, so I'm going to try to match those up. All right, so I'm on it. See if I can. I'm using my chest to do this. I'm going to probably break my bones. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this off camera, sorry. And there is a crimped end. I guess I could have put some tape over this, but you know, if I was to do that, I would never record this video. And there it is. Still got to connect this and this, which, God, that looks awful. I might end up crimping these two together, but they barely reach, so I may have to extend that wire. Yeah, anyway, let's work on the negative side. All right, so this is what I've ended up with on the battery end. These two were both grounds, so I put them in the same piece. This I think is the actual engine ground, and then this is the ground to the plow, and then this is a random wire that I think goes to these plow lights, which I didn't wire that, but whatever. Didn't have any pieces for that one, so I just sort of sandwiched it in there. And then on this side, same kind of deal. This little wire right here was corroded and I had to cut it back quite far, so this is actually a Wago connector. Just putting that in there for now. Ideally I would want to extend that wire and you know, kind of connect these in the same way, and then I think this is the other plow light positive wire. So now I have this connector down here, and I need to add this to this. I think I'm going to try and hook the negative up there, and obviously just put the positive onto there. And there is the positive end. Well, my plan isn't working out so good because that does not fit, so I've got to find a different bolt. Oh, there's a ground spot right here. I don't know if that's going to be any good or not. I don't know. I might try it and see. Yeah, it looks okay. It might not be perfect. I might have to grind this down a little bit, or I may have to drill a hole somewhere. Ideally, you know, in this case, I'm really just trying to make sure that I have good ground to this. But yeah, but obviously these grounds are in much better shape now. But let's do the volt drop test again and just see how well that works. I'll have to connect this first, but yeah, let's give it a shot. All right, so we got the same setup as before. We have the battery charger with the negative there and the positive there, except this time we have this going over to the battery, and we have a negative in there, or a negative probe rather. And just to confirm, we are able to measure battery voltage. So let's do another test. I mean, that's definitely a lot better. And here is the volt drop, 0.01. That is much better. I bet the plow will run significantly better now. As I was wrapping this project up, I realized that I didn't really demonstrate the performance difference in the plow, so I'm going to do that. Right now I have the ground disconnected again to show you how it performs without the dedicated ground. To be honest, with the way that these grounds were and how much better they are now, I think that they may actually have made the biggest difference. It may well just be that the chassis ground was so crappy. Yeah, I mean, the performance without this ground wire is significantly better than it was. I really wish I had recorded it beforehand, but nonetheless, I still think this is important. And it could probably be installed better than that if I was to, you know, grind up some metal and make a dedicated hole for it. But anyway, that is good for now. Now I can actually use this truck for plowing when the snow comes. I just got to suck all these leaves out of here because I don't want to have any fires. And yeah, not a perfect job, but better than it was. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, like it, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Got lots more stuff to do, so stay tuned. And I'll see you in the next one.